Marty Michelmouse by Nanny Linda. The fairground was so very noisy, activities in full swing, happy screaming children wanting rides on everything. The ancient Helter Skelter had long since seen better days, but the children were still happy and it did take pride of place. Down in the foundations, Papa Michelmouse was comfortably sat, drinking his morning coffee with a newspaper lying on his lap. "It's extra noisy this morning," he moaned to his wife Mary Jane. "I hope it quietens down a bit. It would do if we had some rain." "Oh, don't be such a misery," Mary Jane replied. "Let the kiddies enjoy themselves. They will be adults in no time." Then down the stairs ran Marty, full of the joys of spring. "Have you got your bags packed yet?" his Mama Mary Jane asked him. "Yup, did it all last night, only a few more things to add. Some nibbles and drink for my journey and clean socks and underpants." "Make sure you've got some clean ones on," Papa Michelmouse said with a smirk. "Ha ha, very funny, Dad. And why aren't you at work?" "Day off today, lad, and I'm glad of the rest," Papa Michelmouse said with a wink. "And anyway, I want to wave you off on your journey when you leave to visit Jinx." Jinx was Marty's big sister and lived down by the sea. She and her partner Wolfgang ran a popular B&B. They had converted an old rowing boat and it was starting to take off. And Marty had a summer job and was renting out their loft. He was going to wait on tables, sometimes behind the bar, but was worried about the journey there as it was so very far. "You'll be okay," said Mama, trying to ease his concern. "All of us mice have inbuilt GPS, so there is nothing for you to learn. Once you hit the road, you'll be off at lightning speed, so for you to have such worries, there really is no need." So amongst the laughing and shouting and loud music, Marty said his goodbyes. Papa Michelmouse shook his hand and his little Mama cried. "See you in the autumn," she said, wiping away a tear. "I know it's not very long really. It's not like one whole year." So Marty skipped through the funfair and soon came to the busy main road. He looked up and down for traffic, then spied a grumpy-looking toad. "Excuse me, sir, can you help me? Is it safe to cross the road here?" "No," the toad replied gruffly. "Use the underground pipe over there. It's safer by far for us critters to take little shortcuts like that, because if you try to cross over here, you may end up all squatted and flat." A shiver went through little Marty, and off to the pipe he did run, and thought that this part of the journey didn't appear to be very much fun. He hoped that his travels got better, and only time would tell for that, so he ran off at a gallop through the fields where the dairy herd had left big brown cow pats. He scampered and ran in and around them, trying to dodge the cows' hooves, springing up over the buttercups and nibbling at green grass shoots. He had tried to hold his breath because he didn't like the smell, and the mother cow had snorted at him and jangled her great big bell. He came to a spring in the meadow and stopped for a little drink. He took a rest to get his bearings and to have a little think. Then, with a hop and a skip and a splash, he crossed to the other bank. He was just a little bit wet and his trousers felt a little bit damp. "Never mind," he thought to himself, "onwards and upwards I go. I may be there by lunchtime if I run fast and keep my head low." He then came to a small woodland, and from a large hole under a tree, a little grey rabbit popped up and said, "Watcha, mate, you off on a long journey?" "I'm going to visit my sister who lives down by the coast. I've got a job down there for the summer, and I will be living in a boat." "That sounds really smashing, mate," the rabbit then replied. "Well, good luck to you, matey," then went back down inside. Marty ran off happily and sprinted up a rise, and when he reached the top he stopped. He couldn't believe his eyes. Woodland as far as the eye could see, with all different types of trees. It all looked rather daunting, so dark that it gave him the creeps. He knew he had to keep going, so with his head down he galloped along, and to try and keep himself confident, he sang his favourite song. felt he had been running for ages, and the forest was getting darker still. He was hearing all kinds of weird noises. It was now giving him such a chill. Then there appeared on the path ahead of him the most majestic creature he had ever seen. As tall as a tree, with antlers aloft and a coat that glistened and gleamed. "Well, hello there, little mousie. Where are you off to then, running so fast?" "I'm off to the coast to my sister," said Marty, "but I took a wrong turn in the long grass." "Don't you worry, little fella. Jump up on my back. I will help you get out of the forest, and you will soon be back on track. My name is Stag the Magnificent. I am king of the forest, you see. No one will dare to argue, interfere, or contradict me." So Stag took Marty through the forest, and they came to a field of delight, full of yellow sunflowers, so brilliant, so pretty, and so bright. "Whoa, that is so amazing," Marty said in the great big stag's ear. "Thank you for all your help, Stag the Magnificent. I think I can take it from here." So Marty ran into the sunflower field, and Stag ran back into the trees, and he managed to have a snack on the run as he scooped up some sunflower seeds. At the end of the field was a large brown gate which led up to Farmer Palmer's farm, and he ran past pens full of animals who thankfully didn't raise the alarm. The pigs in the smelly pigsty said, "Don't run into the barn. It's full of cats and kittens, so you're sure to come to harm." Donkey looked over the fence post and said to Marty, "Come over here. You can rest in my stable if you want to. Is the end of your journey very near?" "I don't think I've got far to go now," Marty sleepily replied. "I wouldn't mind a snooze in your stable, if you really do not mind." So Marty slept for a little while, with Donkey watching his back. Then he was off on his journey again, after a little drink and a snack. He waved goodbye to the piggies, and to Donkey he gave a friendly pat. "I may see you again one day, perhaps, maybe on my way back." Out to the road Marty was running, keeping himself close to the edge of the field, just as well he was so careful, as the cats were ready for a quick meal. Thankfully they didn't see him, as they had their eyes on the dinner bell. All the cats and kittens were hungry, and their food they had started to smell. Marty kept travelling onwards, up over the bumpy lane to the pond, and there, sat on a tree stump, was the most beautiful little mouse, pretty and blonde. "Hello, stranger," she called to him. "Do you live in the farmer's house?" "No, I am on a journey. I am Marty Michelmouse. I come from the Helter Skelter in the Fairground far away, and I am travelling to my sister Jinx, who runs a B&B in the bay." "Well, that's not too far from here. I can walk with you for a while. My name is Yvonne the Doormouse," and she jumped up onto the stile. "Come on over this way. I can show you the path to take. You'll soon arrive at your sister's place, having afternoon tea and cake." So they walked a while and chatted, and both did develop a crush. "Will you come and visit me, Yvonne? I would like that very much." "Oh yes, I may even come and stay a night or two or three. It's been ages since I travelled to the coast and had a dip in the sea." Marty gave her his address and then scampered off on his way. Yvonne stood and blew a kiss and waved, then went back to her day. Marty kept on running, then skidded to a halt. He sniffed the air and knew then and there that he was smelling salt. Ahead of him he saw water shimmering, a crystal clear ocean of blue, and there on the beach by the cliff edge was Jinx's B&B too. Jinx was sat in a deck chair, enjoying the afternoon sun, while Wolfgang was cleaning windows. He looked like he was having fun. Marty shouted and started running. Jinx screamed and jumped up out of her chair. It had been such a very long time since they were together. They had always been such a close little pair. They settled down in the sunshine, drinking Jinx's homemade lemonade. Then they showed Marty to his attic room and the nice bed Wolfgang had made. "I must go and start the evening meal. Do you want to help?" asked Jinx. "There isn't that much to it. You can lay tables and fix the drinks." So Marty spent the summer enjoying every day, especially for the week that Mama and Papa came to stay. Then, one very special morning, a visitor did arrive. Little Yvonne Dormouse, and Marty was so excited and surprised. She stayed on for the summer, working in the B&B, and after every work day, together they would have their tea. Mama and Papa decided that they would move there too, as the Helter Skelter was falling into disrepair and the old thing being removed. So they would all work at the B&B and enjoy life living at the coast. But the fact that Yvonne was there with Marty was the part he loved the most.